Media. We're going to get you out of here well before the top of the hour. You guys have time to get those bets in for the primetime games, and that's what we do here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time and serve our live free sports mix for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And to deliver those winners, our professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. Let's take a look at who's on the show with us for today. All right, Zawacky with us here on Friday, Brian Bitler and Jay Briggs. And here's how they'll line up for this evening. We got Briggs, Bitler, Zawacky, and then I will close this one out. All right, baseball on the board, a 15-game card. It'll be game 2 of the Cubs and Reds. The Cubs take game 1, some home run power there, get them there. And, of course, 4 from college football heading to a big weekend. So let's get this show started. Let's welcome in Jay Briggs. You'll catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring in Jay right now. Ready to roll with Jay. Jay, what's happening?
Tony T, what's happening?
It's going great. All right, here we go tonight. Baseball. We hit September. We're now officially in the stretch run of Major League Baseball here. And we got the Blue Jays here on the road against the Rockies. We see this big line here with the Blue Jays. The total sits at 12.
Yep, Tony T, you kind of hinted at it, man. We're in the stretch run of baseball, and we got some teams that are on the outside looking in that, can really take advantage of some of their spots they're in. And one of those teams is this Toronto Blue Jays team. They're on the outside looking in of the American League playoffs right now, but they got a soft spot in their schedule here with a 3-game series over the Rockies. And I think it's one of their best chances to gain some ground on some teams that are right above them. I think we see them come out this weekend playing some of their best baseball. I'm looking at laying the run line with the Blue Jays here in this one behind Ryu. We got Chris Flexen on the other side for the Rockies. We know how terrible he's been. The Rockies, typically at home, they do fight, but I just think we see Toronto, the much better team, come in here locked in, focused. I think they get to the starter for Colorado early and often. I can see them getting to their bullpen a little bit, and I think this should be a spot where the Blue Jays stack a win pretty comfortably. I'm going to lay the run line with them here in this one.
All right, Jay says go run line here with the Blue Jays. Lay the run and a half, minus 120 here against the Rockies. Of course, the Rockies we've known, they've been very good home dogs, and it's always tempting when you see that big plus money with this plus 173. But as you said, we are in September, so these games become more meaningful. It's just not another, if this were a game in June, July, maybe even May, you may look, it's the Rockies, right? You don't know what type of effort you may get from the Blue Jays. But now, as you said, we're in the stretch run. It's stretch run baseball now. And historically, this is when we start seeing the living take care of the dead.
Yep, and the Blue Jays, again, on the outside looking in. So quickly to look at their upcoming series, they have the Rockies, then they have the Athletics, then they have the Royals. Ooh. These are 3 straight series where they can seriously stack some wins and, move up forward in this American League. After that, it gets pretty tough. They got the Rangers, who are right up in front of them in the AL wildcard race. They got the Red Sox, who are right behind them in the AL wildcard race. Then they got the Yankees, but it's still a division series. And then they have the Tampa Bay Rays and close it out with the Yanks and then the Rays again. So pretty tough schedule down the stretch, especially after these 3 easy series that they have. So I definitely think they have to take advantage of the opportunity they have right now with the Rockies, A's, and Royals coming up. And I think they started off here by winning fairly comfortably tonight.
There we go. We got the Jay here is going to go ahead and take up this Blue Jays team here. It's definitely going to be one that's on the run line. But Jay, I want to remind you of what we talked about yesterday. In case you missed the show yesterday, this was the game we talked about, right? We talked about Colorado TCU. Just for your fresher courses, let everybody know what you think about this one.
Yes, sir. I think this is probably the most intriguing game on television tomorrow. 11 a.m. start time here in Texas. It's going to be a great game. We got Colorado and TCU. TCU was in the national championship game last year. They, did a complete turnaround under Sonny Dykes that I think many people weren't expecting. And they're huge favorites in this game, and I understand it. But I think all the value in this game is on Colorado. And maybe some of you guys might look at it, like an early lottery ticket playing Colorado straight up on the money line. I just don't think that the books quite know what this Colorado team is here in week 1. This is a team with 75 new players on his team, all scholarship, but most of them transferring in from somewhere else. This is a TCU team that only beat Colorado, who was the worst team in all of football really last year, by 25. Line's at 21 here in this one. I think Colorado is tenfold improved from what they were last year. I think they have legitimate stars on their team, guys like Travis Hunter, guys like Shedeur Sanders, guys on Heisman watch. I think TCU took a step back from where they were last year, losing guys like Max Duggan, Quinn Johnson, guys that went on to make the NFL draft. I think this game's going to be close, and I think that TCU, I think they take a step back. I think Colorado takes several steps forwards, and I think there's a ton of value on Colorado plus the points, and maybe even looking at a chance of taking them straight up on the money line.
Yeah, I want to talk about this game yesterday. Of course, I'm not from the Pac-12, so I know Sonny Dykes quite well. I mentioned this yesterday. His last major job was with Cal. And, he had a good offensive team, but that defense was just absolutely atrocious in his years over at Cal. Just to remind you that. Now, here he is in another big school, and now he's got to start to see what he can do with the defense. Remember, the coach he replaced, it was Patterson, right? He was defense first, right? But what's going to happen to defense with Dykes here? We saw what he did at Cal.
Yep, last time we seen this TCU defense on the field, they got ran over by Georgia. So it's going to be interesting to see what they look like here week one. A lot of these coaches, they are what they are over the years past. So did he necessarily address some of those defensive issues over the offseason? That's remaining to be seen. And I just think there's too much value to pass up here on Colorado, especially week one, when many of us don't know 100% what they are. So 21 points with this team, I think, is the right side to be on.
All right. I believe your Longhorns are in action coming up here tomorrow, right? Is it Rice Krispies?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Getting the cereal? Yep.
Yes, sir. They got Rice, I believe, tomorrow.
Yeah, Rice, we're seeing this one now 35 here with Texas.
Oof, that's a lot of points. I do think Texas will be much improved this year. I really do. Behind Quinn Ewers and the gang. But 35 points is a lot of lumber to lay, especially with Rice has a pretty decent quarterback that transferred in there this year that might be able to score some points early in this one to maybe keep Rice in that football game. I do think Texas will be really good this year. Maybe one of the top 5 teams in the country, but laying 35 points week one is a little out of my realm, especially for a team as overrated as Texas has been in the past few years, and I love me some Texas football.
I know this game's in your state is quite a distance, but I think this is another one of those intriguing matchups. That is UTSA against Houston on the road. UTSA a road favorite here too, a total of 60.
Yes, very interesting game. They got UTSA favored in this one.
Yeah, Frank Harris back.
UTSA, I will say this, man, do not count that team out. That is a team that has put together back-to-back great seasons in college football. They've been a real power. Last year's game between these two teams was high-flying, exciting, and I expect that to be the case tomorrow as well. I would probably lean in the direction of UTSA, though. I probably would, man. I understand they're a smaller school favored against a bigger school, but Houston has some roster turnover, and I'm not exactly sure what to expect from them, especially week one. One thing I will say, though, you have to at least have this game on for some capacity tomorrow, as Houston has the sweetest college football uniforms that they will be debuting tomorrow. Houston will be wearing a powder blue uniform, kind of a shout out to the Houston Oilers.
Yes.
They used to be in Houston.
Yeah.
So they'll be wearing powder blue tomorrow. So it should be pretty cool to see that. And it should be a good game overall, but I'm going to have to lean UTSA.
UTSA. And here's a game that's interesting. It's in your state. This is a team that played in the FCS. They used to get beat up by some of the Texas schools, but now they're FBS. And I was interested here to know that they're getting the money here. Sam Houston State, the late night game at BYU. BYU opened 23. This game's come down to 19 for a first-year FBS school. I know I'm putting you on the spot here. Sam Houston State in your state. A lot of folks out there don't know about them. I find out what your thoughts on this school. I mean, they're an FCS. I don't know if you really put much thought in this team.
I haven't put much thought into this team, but this team is sneaky good. I think they're sneaky better than many people might think that just are checking college football for the first time, like doing their research. I think that many people don't know what to expect from Sam Houston, but I think that they have a legitimate shot of keeping that game competitive and covering that point spread. And I think that's why we've seen that number continuously come down. BYU, I will say, I do think is the better football team, but it's a lot of points, man, for a Sam Houston team that's hungry, man, and excited to be moving up this year. Kind of like, who was it that we saw last year play extremely well? JMU. Came into, the upper ranks last year and had some success early. I wouldn't be surprised if Sam Houston maybe not that same level of success, but I would not be surprised at all if we see Sam Houston compete in a lot of games this year.
Yeah, I believe their Conference USA, the two new teams coming in this year, Jacksonville State. We saw Jacksonville State do an embarrassment there to UTEP. I know UTEP is way far away from you, and they've always been kind of one of the donkeys in the state, right? With a bunch of thoroughbreds.
They've been getting better over the years, though. But that's. I don't think people realize quite how big Texas is. Like El Paso is like almost 7-8 hours from Dallas, but it's still Texas, so it's quite a bit away.
There was some talk before the show with Cal and North Texas. We've seen this one come down. North Texas getting the money here. Cal favored 6.5.
I'm interested to see what North Texas has this year because they don't have that old ass quarterback no more. And Own, I think it was his name last year. He was like 30,
awesome.
still playing college quarterback. So I'm interested to see what their offense looks like. They're usually run the footballs, high flying, like to spread the ball around. So I expect that to still be the regiment for them. Should be a good game. Cal, we know what they were last year, not very good, and we'll see if they can turn it around this year. But I think North Texas getting points may not be a bad place to be.
There you go. Cal is a dance partner now in the ACC. It'll be SMU. SMU at home here against La Tech. SMU is going to lay about 20.
SMU finally getting into a Power 5, man. They've been wanting that since I've been born. They finally got in somewhere.
They got a history, man. Back to Eric Dickerson and of course the death sentence and all that other stuff. But Dykes made a stop over there, so I'm not. La Tech, I was not a big fan of. One thing with La Tech, and this is a road game, but just to keep an eye when La Tech plays at home. Last year they only played at 52% of their stadium capacity, so that means half the stadium shows up to their game. So that's something to keep. I started looking at that and it's got to impact you a little bit when you got some of the 109th attendance figures there. And that's based on stadium capacity. So if you have 100,000, obviously if you have 100,000 capacity and 52,000 average, that's 52%, right? So that's the scary part there with La Tech. But they're on the road here in this one. All right, Jay, let's take a look over at Pick Dog for tonight's action. Of course, Jay, we got baseball, 15-game card from baseball, 4 from college football, heading to a really big college football weekend, off to a great start in college football. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yes, sir. I have a good amount of plays going on tonight. I have a money-making 3-pack that I have in Major League Baseball. That money-making 3-pack includes my $19 MLB play of the day. Been kind of a rough 2 weeks for me here in Major League Baseball as the calendar turns. I got to adjust and get back on track in Major League Baseball, and I'm trying to do that tonight with those 3 plays, so you can hop on with me there. Or I also have my college football play of the day, my college football best bet, man. We're 2-0 on this play to begin the year. Trying to get to 3-0 tonight, heading into week 1 tomorrow. So tons of action for me tonight. Huge card this weekend, man. Hop on some long term with week 1 college football. We got baseball tomorrow, and then we got NFL coming up the week behind it. So a lot of action, man. We're back. We're out of the dog days of summer. Best time to hop on some long term, or pair me up 2-for-1 capper special, man, or pair me up with all 4 guys on the show today, man. I'm small cast, all-star cast though. On the drive through tonight. Pair all of us up, man, and let us put some money in your pocket moving forward.
Absolutely, guys. Look for the long-term passes. If you're just in the weekend warrior, we have a 3-day pass to get you to the weekend, 7-day pass. Remember, for college football goes to Monday, and that will also cover Thursday night college football, as well as the NFL opener comes up Thursday. It's the Chiefs and the Lions. That's part of the 7-day pass, as well as all the baseball. So great time to get on board with Jay over at Pick Dogs Premium. All right, Jay, as always, great having you show. Have yourself a great night. You'll be a busy man this weekend. No tomorrow, because you're going to be hosting the morning show, and of course there'll be a lot of college football coming at you.
Yeah, we got a huge college football card tomorrow. I'm gonna try to peel off as much information from all the guys as I possibly can. As we probably won't do the round table week 1. We might not. We might. You never know. You're a Pick Dog, so make sure you have the notifications on in the morning. We'll try to pull off as much information from the guys for college football tomorrow and baseball. And then Sunday as well as I host the weekend show. So come tune in with me there. And then I'll get to my football schedule this coming up week. So a lot of action for me here at Pick Dogs. I'm excited for it and ready to continue trying to help you guys put you on some winners.
That's right. Put some winners in, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications. So when Jay's live on the show on the weekend, you're live with him to get the plays in real time to get the best numbers as they get those picks out before kickoff. All right, Jay, have a great night. Have a great show this tomorrow, and we'll catch up with you again on Monday.
Yes, sir. Tony T, man. You have a good weekend, and I'll see you on Monday.
See you Monday. Jay Briggs here on the Drive Thru. Let's continue on here on the show. Brian Bitler up next. Catch him over at Pick.com. Man, Brian is having a fantastic year this year. A lot of the sports showing great profit. If you go over to his handicapper page, we'll bring him in right now. Brian, what's happening?
Yeah, I tell you what, I almost hate to leave the summertime. July, August, June, good to me. But, football, I feel like a kid on Christmas. We got big-time football tomorrow. I'll definitely be excited all day, sitting on my couch with a beer and some chips watching college football. Doesn't get much better than that.
It doesn't indeed. All right, we'll get started here with the baseball right now with Brian. Red Sox and Royals, a big series for the Red Sox. These teams trying to get wins here. We are in the stretch run. It is now September 1st. We see the big line here with the Red Sox, minus 196, total of 10.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to probably go with something that's not a very popular play, but I believe it might be one of the best free picks on the board today, or one of the best picks overall, and that's the Kansas City Royals plus 1.5. We should see a ton of action here on the Boston Red Sox, a team that just seems to come up short every year, and this is about the time of year where they start falling off. Boston off a series where they got their butts handed to them by the Houston Astros, and I know because I had them as premium plays for 2 of those losses. Royals losers to 6 straight. I still believe this is a team that you can pick and choose down the stretch to follow and make some money on. James Paxton was having a very nice season up until his last 2 starts, where I think just the wheels have come off that wagon. I think I think that the Kansas City Royals should be able to get him out of the game early here. Jordan Lyles is pitching, I think, for his big league life. You've seen him go 8 innings in 2 of his last 4 starts. I think this is a 1-run game anyway you slice. I think Boston pulls off the W here. I think Kansas City gets the cover.
All right, so we got Brian here on the Royals. A run line, take the run and half, plus 110 here against the Red Sox. Of course, it is the pitcher that everybody doesn't like, Jordan Lyles. Of course, that's the guy that is on the mound here. It's not been the greatest season for Lyles. No, either for Paxton is ERA in year 4. We expect a little bit more out of him, but again, it's Paxton so it's Lyles in there, and then the Royals bullpen.
I'll tell you, Paxton, though, looked very strong for a good part of the season. He's just recently fallen off. And Jordan Lyles, I think he's competing with Adam Wainwright for the worst starter in baseball. But I think here, a lot on the line, at least for Jordan Lyles' career. And I think the Red Sox, the way they've been playing, I think the Royals can be competitive here. There
we go here on Brian here. Royals here, the run line plus 1.5 runs here against the Red Sox. By request, of course, we have some of the cappers they wanted to talk a college football game, so we're going to go ahead and put a game in here for Brian. Here, this is by request, by the way. He asked for this game, so we're gonna bring it up for him right now. This is the one that's coming up here in just a few minutes here, as we have the battle of the Miamis, but in different states. Miami, and Miami, Florida. Right now, we see the Miami, Florida favorite here, 16.5. We see the total coming in at 45.
I think overall here on Friday night, I know it is Friday, and that's usually a night where the public teams win, but I think you're going to see the dogs barking tonight in college football. If I had a free play to give out as far as tonight goes, I'd probably ride with Miami, Ohio. Now, this morning, I think I could get them at plus 17. Right now, I think it's at plus 16, if I'm not wrong.
16.5.
Last year, 16.5. Well, that's even better. Miami Hurricanes, one of the worst cover teams in college football last year, at least over the last 10, going 1-9. I just think Miami's going to escape here with the W, but I think it's going to be closer than people expect. I'm going to take Miami, Ohio here plus the points.
Yeah, that's a lot of points here for a Miami, Florida team. I think they're 2-10 to the spread. Going back even further, it's been a tough spot there. A little more experience on the Miami O side. Again, this is supposed to be a bounce back spot here for the Hurricanes. It was just a disappointing season last year with some really bad losses, even on the ledger last season.
I think they'll need a couple games under their belt before they really start. Yeah, Miami, Florida, they're going to be a solid team this year. But covering early, Miami, Ohio, this is their Super Bowl here. I guess we'll find out where the real Miami is tonight. But for me, I think it's a 14-point win for the Hurricanes. I'll take the points with Miami.
Brian's not calling for the outright upset, just saying that there's a little.
I was thinking about it, but I don't want to rub any salt in any wounds out there.
Okay. We got 9. Although they are an experienced team, that is one thing with Miami, Florida this year. And usually these experienced teams have done well historically, especially with this much experience, right? When you look at the team with 9 starters on offense, 7 to the defense here. But again, the offense here for Miami, just 23 points a game last year.
Also, I think that after looking at the entire board on Saturday and today's college football board, if there is an upset of a 14 or more point favorite, I would take Miami, Ohio tonight as at all the plays I've looked at this weekend. That would be the most chance of seeing an upset, at least in my opinion.
And of course, a lot of talk on that Stanford-Hawaii game. We'll see how that one rolls for that long trip here for Hawaii. A late night start. Stanford, a team that, they got a little lift here. They're going to be the ACC. So we'll see how that runs this late night game here.
Well, you wouldn't be shocked though, right? If Hawaii knocked them off, I think it'd be shocking if Miami, Ohio knocked off.
Yeah, to me that would be that one would be the big upset. Or the Central Michigan, although Central Michigan went backwards last year, they lost. They won only 4 games. McElwain's a pretty good coach, but they really struggle, and they don't have much experience. 4 starters back this year, 9 in the defense, and the offense also went backwards last year, just 25 points a game. The defense still played all right. It looks like CMU is just going to run the football, and Daniel Richards left the program. They're going to have a first year starting quarterback there. And they only have 2 starters back on the line. So I think that Central Michigan game is going to be tough for Central Michigan. That might be a tough one here for the MAC. Although this quarterback Kim has shown some spark last year in the time that he came in there. And he does run the football. So I'm very interested to see how Kim does for Noah Kim, the sophomore under center for Michigan State. That's somebody I want to look at tonight. All right, so we got a little taste there from college football from Brian. He likes the dog here. Not calling for the outright upset, so no sprinkle here. He's not sprinkling anything on the money line. He's just saying he thinks.
I might be tempted by game time.
might be tempted by game time if he gets that. Here is his pick here for the. This is for the baseball today. Take the Royals run line. Take the run and a half plus 110 against the Red Sox, and that one. All right. All right, Ryan, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge Pin for nice action. We've been touting Brian's record, man. He's been on absolute fire over on the site. You see the results here in baseball. That's just the start of it. But look at a lot of the major sports showing great profit for the year, showing great profit here as well. All right, Brian, we got a big card from baseball, 15-game card. We're not forgetting about baseball. Hey, we've been handicapping baseball the last 5 months. We're not going to stop now. We got all this knowledge and all this data. So we're continuing straight forward here with baseball. So I know college football is here, but we don't forget about baseball here. We've got a great sample size of 5 months of stats. So you see the good results from Brian. 1,238 units of profit. What do you have going on over at Pick Dodge Pin? Phillies in action against the Brewers tonight.
I'll tell you what, that's not a premium pick for me. I kind of like the Phillies tonight. Too many people hating on Wheeler. I think he gets it done. But as far as premium picks go, I got my titanium in college football tonight. I'm off to a 3-0 start this year in college football, trying to make it 4-0 tonight. Get on over to pickdogs.com, get my $15 titanium best bet. 9-4 last 13 of those, and overall long-term, 210, 166-1. That's a 56% hit rate on the last 377. Also have it play in Major League Baseball up for tonight. And also tomorrow, I got 2 plays loaded up. I got my titanium for tomorrow ready to go, and also my early executive play in college football. So make sure you head on over to pickdogs.com, maybe pick up that 3-day pass. It's going to definitely be a big weekend. That's
right, guys. Big weekend coming up. Get on board here with Brian Bitler over at Pick Dogs Premium. You see the great results here from baseball this year. Last 30 days, 1,247 units of profit. All sports combined from Brian. It's been a fantastic year for Brian, showing profit for the entire year. College football as well, off to a 3-0 start. NFL preseason hit at 60%. NFL last year had a winning season over 56%. College football over 57%. You may consider the long-term pass, that 1-year pass. With the way Brian's rolling, this is what you want to do here. Pick it's a promo code, you'll save that 15% off. Or if you want to try it for 30 days, do that. And then take with your winnings, upgrade it to that 1-year pass. All right, Brian, as always, great having you on the show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again on Monday, but we can also catch you on some of the weekend shows as well.
Definitely make sure you check out my Ticket to the Bank series on the Pick Dogs YouTube channel every single day. Tomorrow I'll be on with Jay. I'm going to break down the Rice-Texas game. I got a pick in that one. Definitely look forward to the weekend, and I'm going to stay tuned before I go out square dance tonight and hear my good buddy Rod give out a pick. But yeah, hopefully it's going to be a good weekend for all of us.
Yeah, it's a great weekend indeed. All right, Brian, have a great weekend. We'll catch up with you on Monday on the drive-thru.
Catch you on Monday.
You got it. Brian Bitler here on the drive-thru. Let's continue on. Guys, you ever tune in late to the show? We always do a recap at the end, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Let's continue on here on the drive-thru. All right, we've got Rod Zawacky geared and ready to go. We got a lot of peripherals on the board tonight as well. Let's bring him in right now. Rod, what's happening?
Hey, not too much. Getting excited. This is a big, massive weekend. It's like Christmas. It's like open up the presents. You get all these games,
Oh
and
yeah,
I'm excited because there's definitely lots of money to be made this weekend.
yeah, absolutely,
Lots of good
lots of
spots.
money. Lots of money to be made, no doubt about that. We'll start here with this Mariners-Mets game as we got some interleague here. As we hit the stretch run here in Major League Baseball, Mariners, big part of the race. The Mets could be outsiders here. Mariners favored -108, total 7.5.
Yeah, you look at the Mets. Definitely, they're trying. They're trying to put things together to end the season, but not looking good. This Mariners team's just been rolling right along in the thick of the battle in the AL West. Definitely, and winners of 8 of the last 9 on the road as well. Logan Gilbert getting a start here for the Mariners in this one, and he's 8-1 on the road with a 3.47 ERA with a 1.07 WHIP, 2-0 in his last 3 with a 3.67 WHIP. And on the other side of the mound, we got Kodai Senga getting the start for the Mets in this one, and yeah, he's been solid. You look, he hasn't given up more than 3 runs over his last 10 starts. He's 5-3 with a sub-3 ERA at home this season. So little pitcher's duel early in this one. But when you get to the bullpens, I give the edge to the Mariners in that regard. And then when it comes to the offense, we know what the Mariners have been doing, and they've had no problem scoring runs. And I think they get enough here to get us the win. Seattle over the last 10 versus right-handed pitching is hitting 285, which equates to about 6.9 runs per 9 innings. And they've just been, as I said, hot on the road. Winners of 8 of the last 9 on the road here. Give me Seattle. Keep rolling right along.
All right, we got Rod says go ahead and to continue here with Seattle here in this one. Senga, I got to give the guy credit. He came in with some really good credentials. The Mets gave him, I believe, a 5-year contract. He's pitching up to it. The only issue here is he never gets run support or bullpen.
Exactly, yeah. Right. That's it. Like I said, he's been solid. I'm sure there's plenty of other teams that would have loved to scoop this guy up at the deadline, but the Mets were definitely holding on him to because he's a bright spot in the future for this Mets organization. Hasn't given up more than 3 runs in 10 starts, so could definitely have a lower scoring. I think that under first 5 might be a look in this one as well. We might get a lower scoring first 5, and then the runs come late in this game. Because Kodai Senga has been very solid this season, so. Pitchers duel early, as both starting pitchers are solid in this one, but the Mariners pull it out in this one and get us a win.
All right, Rod here on the Mariners. Little bonus coverage from Rod here before we get to the peripherals. We talked about this Stanford-Hawaii game. It's a late night, 11 Eastern time. We see Stanford 2.5-point favorite. They're up to 10 now, down to 2.5. We see the total 454.5.
And yeah, you look at the Stanford team, and they've got a huge turnover. I think they got 3 guys returning on offense, 3 on defense. A big, massive turnover for these here. But you look at this coach, things are going to change too. You look at Stanford in their pace of play last season. I believe they were almost really slow, -15 in pace of play. That's going to turn around. The coach that came in for Stanford here, he likes to pick up the pace and move things along a little more. So we could see a higher scoring game in this one. But this is a tough spot for Hawaii. Look at They just played last week. They do have that game under their belt, and they look good. Their defenses looked real well in that game against Vandy. And you know what? I would take the under here as the play. 54.5 seems like a lot of points. A short week for this Hawaii team. Their defense looked good. I would take the under 54.5, even though I think we got both offense going to be trying to go high-paced in this one. But I like the under 54.5. I think is a play. You know what? I would take Stanford on the money line. I think they get the win in the end.
There you go here. Big line down. Of course, you may maybe lean on that run game, lean on the offensive and defensive lines. You should be bigger than the Hawaii kids, no doubt about that. Any Saturday game that stuck out to you, Rod?
And that one we were talking about, you talked with Jay, or with Jay. I'm looking at Cal in North Texas. Like I said, I like North Texas. I like North Texas outright in this one. You look at Cal, and they're returning 49 new players on that team, and you look at Texas, they're gonna have a quarterback duel going. You got Stone Earl gonna get the start for Texas in this one. He played backup, and he's a dual threat QB, so he's got the option to run as well. And then also Chandler Rogers, who transferred in from Louis. LMU, Louisiana Monroe. He came in from transfer from there. He was actually going to go to Cal, surprisingly. That was his first option, and then he decided he was going to come to North Texas. And the big return for North Texas is their triple-headed running back option, who ran for over 2,100 yards last year. They're returning for North Texas. All three of their running backs are back. That's huge. I don't know if the line will do enough, and I think North Texas can hold on to that ball and keep running. Tough spot for Cal coming into Texas. It's going to be a hot one. Temperatures above 100 supposed to be at game time, so that's a tough spot for Cal. I like North Texas. If you want to take the points, I wouldn't blame you, but I'm going to take I'm taking North Texas outright in that one.
All right, North Texas outright here from Rod. All right, people are asking from the chat. We're going peripherals now. Getting to the WNBA here. This one on Ion, top of the hour. Wings and Fever. We see the Wings favored 4.5, total 170.5.
Yeah, this one here, and you know what? I like the Wings. This Fever team, definitely not a team that I want to be laying any points with or money line at all. But the Seattle Wings team have been turning things on. You know what? I like them. It's almost the Seattle two-teamer. You think the Seattle Wings lay the -4.5. I think they easily get the win and cover in this one. I like Seattle. So double Seattle. Seattle money line. Wings -4.5 in this one.
All Wings, no prayers here from Rod. All right, let's get to the next game here on Friday night. This one on Ion as well. Sun Liberty going head-to-head. Liberty favored 7.5. Total sits at 160.
Yeah, this is a crazy schedule spot for the Connecticut Sun. They just played yesterday. So now you have to turn around and come and play the New York Liberty in New York. Whew, really tough spot. I'm going to lay it with the Liberty in this one. We know what the Liberty can do. They are the better team by far. And I think they win by 10 plus. Tough spot having to play on a back-to-back night for any team, much less these WNBA players. So lay it with the Liberty. They roll the Suns in this one.
And Liberty there from Rod. All right, here we go. Night 8 Eastern time. Ion has Dream and Lynx. The Lynx favored at home, 1.5, total 164.5.
Yeah, and you look at this one here. And when I first looked at this, I was like, "Oh, I'm going to jump on the Lynx," but the spread seems just a little bit low for me. So I'm gonna take the Atlanta Dream here, who won their last game in this one. You look at the Dream; they're 0-8 on the road, but you look at the Lynx, 0-4 ATS in the last 4 following 2 days or more of rest. You know what? I'm gonna take the Dream to win this one outright. Not a big. They're the slight favorite in this one. If you look Dream, you get a little bit of plus money. I think they outright the Lynx in this one.
There you go from Rod. This WNBA play. Of course, we'll touch on a couple of CFL. They kick off tomorrow. BC at Montreal. BC 4 on the road, 47.5.
Yeah, and you look at that one. I would take Montreal at home here. I think this is a 3-point game. Both these teams love to battle, and BC I think is going to be a little bit upset after losing to Hamilton last week. They're definitely going to come out with a jump, but they play better at home than what they do on the road. I would take Montreal plus the points on that one.
The Sunday game has Winnipeg at Saskatchewan. Winnipeg 7.5, total 47.5.
Yeah, and in this one, I would take Saskatchewan plus the points. These are these Labor Day battles that these teams know each other, and now that it's above a touchdown, I think Winnipeg wins, but they win by 7. So I would take Saskatchewan plus the 7.5. We know what Saskatchewan's going to be like on a Sunday afternoon. That place is going to be green. Everything's green. They scoop out the watermelons. You probably can't buy a watermelon right now in Regina as they scoop all out and they plop them on their heads. It's all green all day in Regina on Sundays, especially for these Labor Day games. I think this was sold out as well, so it'll be packed in Regina. So you got to go Saskatchewan plus the points in that one.
All right, we do have 2 on Labor Day. This game will start before this drive-through. We have one game starting after the drive-through, after we finish off the air. So we'll have one game on Monday. But let's cover this one here for Monday. Toronto and Hamilton. We see Toronto here on the road, 7.5, 8, total 50.
And yeah, look at this Hamilton team, definitely improving. I think they're getting disrespected after beating BC last week. I would take Hamilton plus the 8.5 here against Toronto. This Toronto team has been probably the best team in the CFL this season. But I think this Hamilton team is starting to get some players back from injury. They're starting to turn things around, starting to get things. They got embarrassed by the Elks, handing them their first win there. And I think they start to put things together. So give me Hamilton plus the points in that one.
There you go. We got Rod's play there for you. Peripheral action here from Rod. We'll give Rod a first look any first thoughts here with this Chiefs and Lions Thursday kickoff NFL as we start the NFL next week?
And first, quick look at that one. You know what? I would take the Lions plus the points. I think it's south of a touchdown. It's wavered. It's went up to 7. It's come down to 6.5. I think it's a 3-point game all day. We know how this Detroit Lions team is definitely a scrappy bunch, and I think they're going to be scrappy again. So I would take the Lions plus the points.
And the total sits at 6.5, 7, and the total sits at 54. And the total open at 54. There's been some movement over here on some of these games. The game opened 7 here in the Lions Chiefs. We see 7s and 6.5 in some places. So interesting to see. I would be interested on that total there. It looks to me like these teams are going to throw. And of course, the Chiefs, they look pretty good in the preseason with that offense, huh?
That offense looked real good, didn't it? I see why everybody likes the over. I would go with the over as well. But I think Detroit can hang. We know they've always got a good stable of running backs to run the ball. And that's what I think they do here in this one. You want to run the ball and keep it away from Mahomes. So you want the less that you see Mahomes with the ball for the Lions, that works out in your favor. I think the over's the play there.
Yeah, I think
I really do. I think the over is probably the better play.
Yeah,
I think both offenses can score points, and I think we can get into the 60s.
Yeah, that kind of got my attention there, was that over at 54. I think by kickoff, what do you think is going to be that total?
Probably up to 56, 57.
Yeah.
The way it's
so,
going.
yeah.
56.5, 57.5.
So you're advising, if you like the over, you better play it now, because there's no way that.
Yeah, better play it now. Yeah. I would play the over right now.
Yeah, that's what I want exactly there. And of course, if you're looking at the 7, if you got 6.5, obviously, if you want the Lions, wait for the line to come to 7 or shop for the 7. But if you want the Chiefs, this one may fall 7. We don't know, but you're looking at the line here. There's still 7s and 6.5. So you think 6.5 is the lowest you'll get on the Chiefs? Just kind of speculating the line.
I think so. Yeah. If it pops up to 7, I like the Chiefs. If it drops below 6.5, I like the Chiefs. So if it drops below 6.5, you take the Chiefs. If it goes up to 7, if it goes up to 7, I'm taking the Chiefs. If it drops below 6.5, take Detroit.
Yeah. So basically, if you like the Lions, make sure you get a 7. If you like the Chiefs, make sure you get a 6.5. That's kind of where you want to be on this one. You don't want to be stuck. You don't want to be stuck here on Thursday and hoping and waiting for a number. If you see it, get it. That's kind of what it's really.
Yeah, you don't want to be sitting on a 7 going, "Come on, drop or go up, drop or go up."
Yeah, I mean that's all you want to look at a game like this. You might not handicap it right now, and have your ticket have the best number in your pocket when this game kicks off, and don't have to sweat the number. sweat to get the best number. That's really what it looks like. All right, we got the peripherals in. Go ahead.
It's like your Michigan State. What did it go? Is it still at 14? Like this morning, it went to that. It dropped. It went from 14. I've seen it in books. Dropped it to 13.5, and it's back up to 14 in most places now. I see.
Yeah, the Michigan State game you talked about, Michigan.
Yeah, the Michigan State. Yeah.
Michigan State game. Yeah, this one's coming off here. Let's see here. Let me see where we're at on that game. Michigan State, Central Michigan, Michigan State. I'm seeing on this one. Let me scroll down on my line service here. Now that we got all these games up here, it's starting to get a little buggy on me now. But I think it was 14 is what I'm seeing the number at right now.
Yeah. See, and you know what? I would lay I made a bet on Michigan State minus the 13.5 this morning. I seen the number. It was like I jumped in on it, and now it's up to 14. You know, I would still lay the points with Michigan State. They returned their running back from last season, and he looked real good. So you're wondering what, and I think quarterback-wise, Michigan State definitely has the edge QB-wise. Because you look on the other side of the ball there.
Peyton Thorne, I didn't really like that guy. I'm interested to see what this kid can do.
What is he throwing? 8 passes in 4 games?
Yeah.
I think. So it's going to be really tough for the Chippewas to score tonight. I really do. I think they're going to have trouble scoring. This looks like it's going to be like 28-3. I can see that.
Yeah. We in this one, the game we didn't really talk about, but this has the ESPN appeal, is Louisville, Georgia Tech. This is a neutral field of the Georgia Dome, right in Atlanta. We've seen a Louisville 7.5 on the road. The totals come down. It opened 51, and we've seen the total come down to 49.5. I'm seeing some 48.5s in this one in some places.
Yeah, because I think both defenses. Everybody's talking about the Louisville defense. They looked real good last season with 50 sacks, and definitely solid rushing around. And they returned a lot of guys on defense. Georgia Tech definitely got a solid defense as well. So I like that under. I really do. I think you got a battle of the defenses on that, and figure where you're going to get a shootout game. Nah, I like the under in that one. I think both defenses step up. Georgia Tech's defense, I think, a little bit underrated as well. So I think they can step up as well. So give me the under in that one.
All right, Rod says go under here. So we got all the 4 games covered for you here. Some WNBA action, CFL here for coming up here with the Peripheral. So we got you covered here for the games coming up here on the weekend. All right, Rod, let's take a look over at Pick.com for tonight's action. Baseball on the board with the looks like we've got 15 games on the board here from Major League Baseball. I think those 6:40 starts are going to be popping up right now. So big card from Major League Baseball. We've got 1 game started already, so that Reds Game 2 game has begun. So 14 games on the board, 4 from college football, heading to a huge college football weekend. What do you have going over at Pick Dodge Premium?
And over at Pick Dodge Premium tonight, I got 4 plays, 1 for long-term subscribers. I also have my college football Gridiron Crusher play tonight. You can scoop that up singly. Or I've also got my 10-star play of the day in tonight's MLB action. 53 and 38 over the last 91 10-star plays of the day. So that's been rolling right along. You can scoop it up singly as well. Or those 2 plays are included in my Steak Friday that also has another play in college football. So 2 college football plays as well as my 10-star play of the day included in that Steak Friday package. As you can see, 3-1 to start college football. So jump aboard. Let's have a great day to start the weekend. Even better yet, grab that 3-day pass. I'll have Monday's action thrown in there as well. So you'll get 4 days for the price of 3. So jump aboard. Use that promo code PICK at checkout. Save 15% off all your purchases. Jump aboard. Let's crush the bookies this weekend. I'm so excited.
That's right, guys. Got aboard with the Zawacki over at Pick.com. Great time to get the 3-day pass. Rod will have that Duke Clemson game in there for you, that Monday Labor Day game. So go ahead and get the 3-day pass and pick his promo code. Save that 15% off. All right, Rod, as always, great having the show. Thanks for your contributions here on the drive-thru. We'll catch up with you next week. But let everybody know where we can catch you as well during the weekend shows.
Yeah, definitely tune in tomorrow. Going to be a great time. First week 1 college football action. Definitely be a stacked load of cappers on there. Jay hosting, so definitely tune into that. Always a good time there. As Jay said, I think we're going to go same order. I don't think we're going big square board type everybody in there. I don't think we are, but hey, you never know, as he says. You never know. Be ready for it. So definitely check in 10 a.m. Eastern. Always good time over there on the weekends.
That's right, guys.
Tune in.
Make sure to like, subscribe, set those notifications so when Rod's live with the crew on the weekend, you're there with him to get the plays in real time. All right, Rod, have a great Steak Friday and those steak dinner. And we'll catch up with you on Monday on the drive-thru.
Definitely. Have yourself a good night, Tony. Everybody else, good luck with all your bets, and we'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Have a great weekend.
You as well. Rod Zawacky here on the drive-thru. Guys, if you missed a pick, we're going to recap in the show. Stay tuned for that. Let's continue on here on the drive-thru. And we'll get to, I got to get my game card up there. This is not the game I'm covering, so let me go ahead and get the game up there for you. It's going to be the Giants and the Padres tonight, this game. As a matter of fact, we do have a final in there. Actually, top of the first right now with the Reds and Cubs. Game 1 went 6-2, and of course, no score here. Top of the first with the Cubs and Reds playing in Game 2 of their doubleheader. But let me find my game here. It's going to be the Padres and the Giants as we kind of go through all the games here. Here we go. Padres, Giants going head-to-head tonight. And in this game, I'll be looking here at the Giants plus the 119 here against the Padres plus the 119 plus 120. It looks like here for the Giants, Tristan Beck expected to start here. ERA 3.52, good whip of 1.14. Ground balls 43%, does limit his home run damage. We know Walker's on the mound, put up a pretty good season. Strikeout rate 22%, walk rate just 8%. He does have a FIP of 3.83. It does suggest a rise in ERA. Based on his numbers for the season. But San Diego is just on a downer right now. They've lost 6 of 7. And you look, even Walker in his past start allowed 4 runs with 5 walks against Milwaukee. Padres hitting just .229 against right-handed starters. When the Padres have faced right-handed starters this year, they have lost 29.5 units this year. That's atrocious. Give me the Giants here at the plus price. Plus 120, plus 115. Do your best, get your best numbers by doing your shopping. Having more than one sportsbook account puts you in the best possible position to win when you make your bets. The Giants plus 119 against the Padres tonight, 9:40 Eastern time. All right, guys, check out Pick.com tonight. I have plays up there on the board for you 3-pack mixed with baseball as well as college football. Also a best bet on the board for me, standalone as well. So 4 premiums on the board. Of course, your best value is getting the long-term pass from me. You get the 3, 7, or 30-day All Sports Pass. Get all my premium plays for that time period. Just select when you go over to the main handicapper page, make the purchase. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save that 15% off. You can add multi-cappers with the multi-capper pack promotion right now, saving even greater money there. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru. Let's get to the recap. Let's recap the games. Jay was on the board today on the baseball. Blue Jays run line, lay the 1.5 against the Rockies. We had Brian here on the Royals run line, the plus 1.5 here against the Red Sox. Rod here was on the Mariners. He liked the Mariners minus 112 here against the Mets. I'll be on the Giants with the plus price here against the Padres. Of course, we had a lot of action here today in baseball. Hyun-Jin Ryu is going to be on the mound tonight. Rod's play here on the Mariners here against the Mets. Castillo here against in that one. And the one I like the most, let's see here what we're going to go with in this game. Just want to check something here on my board really quick to make sure the pitching matchups line up here. And I'll look here at the Seattle side. When you look at the Mets over their past 7 games, they're hitting just 202, which has just been brutal here. And Gilbert on the road has a whip of 1.07, and kind of like how we're looking at this, the way the Mariners are hitting the ball. But right now, it's just I just can't back the bats. They're from New York. Same old story. They're just not hitting. So we'll go here with the Mariners play from Rod, the one we like the most. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the Drive-Thru. Guys, make sure you tune in again here Monday live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring in our cappers here from Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Plays. They'll have their plays in real time. Don't forget, always get started with that morning show here on the weekend. 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Jay's in the host position. A lot of the cappers who's here on the Drive-Thru will be on board with all picks from college football and more. So tune in to the morning show Saturday here at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, as well as Sunday. And then that's the way to roll. Don't forget all the video series here on Pick Dogs, Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes, betting tool shows, roundtable discussion with the professionals. Also, we have Nick Menken's Nerf Fees, Your Fees. We have Jay's NFL rundowns coming up next week, NFL live show as well. We also have Ron O'Malley's Major League Baseball rundown, pick from every game from Major League Baseball. And, of course, Mike Davis live show Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Of course, he does have his first 5 for you from baseball, parlay picks as well and more. So you want to check that out. And, of course, we got Brad with his parlay pick. And, of course, don't forget Mills with his UFC rundown. Remember, it's an early start tomorrow. They're fighting in Europe, I believe in Paris. So make sure you check out his UFC rundown right now up at Pick Dog's YouTube channel. So, guys, make sure you like, subscribe, set notifications. When these videos drop, you get them in real time. All right, that's going to do it for the show. I'd like to shout out to the chat room out there. Blake, shout out to you. Mo Harris as well. Juan in there as well. Let's steal up there. Blake, Oscar Garcia, Tyrone Coleman, shout out to you as well. Marco Leali, thank you, Smooth D, with your information there as well. Nicholas Handy in there. We had Smooth D, OC Dreamer joined us today. Mark Carter in there as well. Anthony Bias and Nate the Great hearing from you. Anthony Bias, we said. Mills in there. He liked Stewart over 23.5 points. WNBA Liberty there from Mills with a play tonight. WNBA. Also UFC Paris tomorrow morning. He's got fights up there for you guys, so check it out. Rundown from Mills is up and ready to go here. So guys, check it out. We've seen Mills in the chat room tonight, so guys, make sure you check him out if you would. Raven Ron in there likes the points with Miami, Ohio. And Nicholas Handy says baseball is still paying the bills. Don't give up on you. I agree with you. You have, this is we're in month 6 of baseball. We have 5 months of data. Why are you giving up on baseball? I mean, this is, again, and of course, he made a good point because college football, many of us are speculating, right? We don't have the data yet for this season, but you have 5 months worth of data from Major League Baseball. Now it's to keep striking in baseball. Don't stop. I agree with you 100%. That's the best betting tip I've seen for a while here from Nicholas Handy. That's very smart. As he said, it is harder to cap the college football right now. A lot of speculation. And again, he suggests stick baseball with the 5 months of data. That's the way you want it. That's fantastic advice there from Nicholas Handy. Shout out to Nicholas Handy there with some fantastic advice. If you're handicapping baseball, still cap it. Don't stop. You've got the 5 months of data. Fantastic. All right, that's going to do it here on the show. And thank everybody for joining us. Let's go ahead and bring in our crew for tonight. And we're going to wave goodbye to guys. You guys have a great afternoon, evening. We'll catch up with you again